Well, good evening, everyone, from Carpo's back porch in the dark. I'm doing my evening in the dark video. I'm a musician. I play guitar, I play drums, I play bass. I like instruments, I like music. And I've played music since I was about 14. I got my first guitar, or my first bass, and I've always really enjoyed getting together with a few friends and playing music, playing songs, writing songs. And I love performing live. And my brother and I got together and in two different bands. We were in a punk band together where we played called First in Line, and then we later on got back together once because I left the punk scene because I wasn't interested in playing that kind of music anymore. And once he got back into the jam band scene kind of thing, he wanted to see if I'd come play with him again, and I did. We had a band called Related Material, then we changed it to Time to Spare. But anyway, we played gigs around town, nothing big, just a few bars and a couple festivals and stuff. We played the local Burning Man festival, which was called Soak, and had a great time there. And I guess what I'm getting at is I have a musician's point of view from this, and I'm going to make a statement that musicians don't owe their fans shit. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. This stems from, various new bands coming out with albums, people talking about how they expected more from an album, or use Phish, for example. Phish is a very technical band. Some of their early stuff was just so crazy detailed. They'd have 20-minute jams that were very intricate and timed out. And as they get older, some of their stuff goes back to the simplicity. Now, from a musician's standpoint, that's not laziness at all. That's understanding that only a few people can really understand complex music or care for it. So it's not a matter of laziness, it's a matter of enjoying the simplicity of just playing music. It's hard to express that, to understand it. I think the best example I could give would be from anybody in my age group who listened to Metallica, who remember when they came out with the Black Album. Because And Justice for All had been out for a long time. We'd been waiting and waiting. The Black Album comes out, and they've got, Enter Sandman. I mean, this kind of stuff was like very popular for the people who grew up with that album. But for us, this was like child's play, this was not heavy metal. And, you'd hear the old, they're sellouts, yada, yada, yada. And over the years, I realized that it was, nobody ever sold out. Metallica is a good example of a band that, if any band sold out, Metallica kind of would be a good example of it. But basically Lars Ulrich is the one that ruined that whole Napster thing. He freaked out about people downloading music, and you can understand why. A musician doesn't want to have their art stolen, and I can see that. But taking it to the extent they did, it put a bad image on the band. So people said, oh, they're greedy and they're out just for this and that. But the truth is, it's more complex than that. From a musician's standpoint, he's worked hard on his career. He's worked hard to build his art, and to just give it away is not easy. Now, in today's world, music has completely changed from an artist standpoint. When I first started playing music, you would have to make a tape and send it into a record label. These days, you can make a demo on your computer in a matter of a couple of hours and be done with it and have it in sent everywhere digitally. It's amazing. They've got places like Bandcamp where you can go and post your albums. What I'm saying is the musicians have to adjust as the times change. You just got to move with it. In other words, people aren't making money off of CDs anymore. That's just ridiculous. If anything, they make money off of concerts and merchandise. And the hope is that, if somebody buys an album, they buy it because they like it. And there's plenty of time to try an album before you buy it. So it's not like people are getting ripped off. And that being said, if you don't like what a band's putting out, then don't buy it. It's just like if you don't like what an artist is painting, don't buy the art piece. But don't complain about what they're painting. It's not musicians don't owe their fans any particular music because it comes from the heart. And yeah, there are exceptions to the rule. There are plenty of bands that are just out for money. That's a totally different story. I'm talking about the bands that are really out to make music, to give them a little respect and realize that they're just people. And they're not out to please you. They're out to make music. And yeah, they make money doing it, but you see a lot of these rock stars later in life, and they're not doing too well. It's not about the money for a lot of them. It's about doing what they love. When you're playing music and you're a musician, it's an amazing experience. So anyway, I just wanted to relay that because there seem to be a lot of people who feel entitled that bands should be like putting out albums that suit them or something. I don't know. Anyway, take care, everybody.